is Archie Griffin, and he joins us now on the Rich Eisen Show. Archie, we're so thrilled to have you on for this Heisman Friday. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Suzy.
What did winning the Heisman mean to you back-to-back?
Oh, it meant the world. Winning the Heisman Trophy, it's a wonderful honor, not only for yourself, but your team, your school, and your family. For me, it was extremely special, and it continues to be.
Do you remember how it felt in your body when you heard your name being called?
Yeah, but it was a little different than it is now. I mean, now, there are 3 to 5 folk that are in New York waiting the announcement. But when I won it, they called the Sports Information Office at Ohio State on a Monday after the end of our season, which was after the Michigan game. And they told the Sports Information Office that I needed to be in New York the next day, and they would have someone meet me. And they'd take me to the Downtown Athletic Club where there'd be 2 other guys there, and they were going to make the announcement of which 3 of us had won the Heisman Trophy. When I got there, I found out that I was the only guy. And they announced me as the Heisman Trophy winner. And so the next year, when I won it for the second time, they called the Sports Information Office, and they knew that I knew the drill. And they said, well, you won the Heisman Trophy, but you can't tell anybody until we announce it tomorrow. So it's a little different now than it was back then.
Yeah, just slightly different, just a little bit less pomp and circumstance, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Archie Griffin joining us on the Rich Eisen Show. It's a big day tomorrow, and 3 guys are there waiting to hear if their names are being read out loud. Who did you vote for? Will you tell us?
Oh, I never tell who I vote for.
Oh, come on.
Never tell who I vote for. But the guy that I voted for is one of the 3. No question about that.
What were your thoughts on Jameis Winston? Did you think he was deserving of returning to New York?
Well, I think having been a Heisman Trophy winner, I think he can return. He's not one of the top 3.
But for being a finalist.
Yeah, he's not one of the top 3. So, I kind of feel like, if you won it, you're still in it, that you should return. But they make a break at where there's a break in the votes. So obviously there was a big break between 3 and 4, and I don't know where Jameis finished in all that. But I will say this about Jameis. Jameis, even though they had some very close games, and you can expect that when you are undefeated and you have won the national championship, you can expect a lot of close games because you're going to get everybody's best shot. But the thing that I liked about Jameis this year is that regardless of how tough times were, he threw several interceptions, and that certainly hurt him in the Heisman voting. But no matter how tough times were, he found a way to win. And to me, that's extremely special. It doesn't say that you've had the perfect season or the best season of anybody, but the fact of the matter is they're still in the fight right now, and he's got a chance to win a second national championship.
And I thought what was interesting, actually, was that Charlie Ward joined us just before, and he actually said he did not vote for Jameis Winston. I thought that was interesting for a Seminole to come out and say that he did not give him that vote. Well,
I think Charlie Ward was just being absolutely truthful with you about what he thought of the season that Jameis had. But the fact of the matter is, I'm sure Charlie recognizes the fact that Jameis has been a winner all these weeks, too, in a time where he's going to get everybody's best shot.
What's your take on this college football playoff? How do you feel about your chances for Ohio State going up against Alabama?
Well, we're happy to be there. I mean, to be in the top 4, to get a shot at winning a national championship. We know it's a tall order. I mean, Alabama, they've probably got the best program in college football right now. But having a shot at them is something to be proud of. And even though we're a 10-point underdog and nobody's really given us a chance, you need to know that that's why they play the game, to see who's going to win. And I can guarantee you that our players are certainly going to get up for that football game, and I think they'll perform extremely well.
Oh,
who's
as
going
they
to win,
always
I don't
do.
know.
As they always do. This, of course, being a Michigan-friendly show because my husband, Rich Eisen, is a Wolverine, and he's got some lingering animosity issues. But by the way, that's a team that's got a long way to rebuild. So that's a whole different subject, Archie. My last question to you is, why do you think there's such a disconnect between Heisman winners and playing professionally?
Well, I don't know that there's a disconnect. I mean, I would say that, they're two different games. It's your college game and it's your pro game, and you really shouldn't necessarily mix those. I mean, that's one era, pro is one era, and then college is another era, and I think you should keep them separate.
But I wonder why there's been such difficulty for players who have won the Heisman to go on and have successful careers playing in the National Football League.
Well, it's probably the result of what team you get with, the fit on those teams. All of that makes a difference. And I can tell you, I enjoyed my professional career, but nothing I could have done in pro would have been as much as I did in college. And the fact of the matter that I went to the Cincinnati Bengals, which I enjoyed all 8 of the years that I spent with the Cincinnati Bengals. I had a great time, made great friends, and enjoyed that time. Had a chance to play in the Super Bowl, whole works. But the fact of the matter, I was a running back, and we were a passing football team. And I was certainly happy with the fact that, over my career, I was able to get average over 4 yards a carry, which I think any running back will be extremely happy with. And so I feel that was a success. And I know that sometimes we judge other Heisman Trophy winners on, did their career in pro measure up to their career in college? Well, that's not going to always happen. It's very rare for that to happen, simply because you're not in the same situation.
The schemes are very different. The situation is very different.
Very different, especially the fact this is pro, this is college. And,
I hear you.
For instance, I was not in a running situation. I average eight carries a game. I mean, you're not going to get 1,000 yards playing pro football averaging 8 carries a game. And so I made my goals different, and that was to average 5 yards a carry, and that's a big chore. When you're in pro football, I average over 4 yards a carry, and that's something you can be extremely proud of. And I know a lot of other athletes probably feel the same way about their careers, whether they lived up to what they did in college and pro. I don't think they considered that. I think they considered two different eras in their lives, like I do.
Well, your career, of course, is one of which to have been extremely proud, and we so appreciate your time joining us. Are you in New York for the announcement?
Absolutely. I'm here right now.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Well, enjoy Central Park, enjoy everything about the city, and thanks again for your time joining us on The Rich Eisen Show.
Well, thank you for having me. Sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. What a class act he is. I mean, think about it, you guys. We've had 4 Heismans on today. That's a really solid Friday.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.